Stupid.
Wow, watch your mouth, please.
This is my fault.
Sorry, I went down a rabbit hole.
That's okay. I'm glad we did, because we didn't in the last episode. We just jumped right into it, and it's nice to have this random stuff at the beginning.
Healthcare horrors. Murder.
It's time for another episode of Healthcare Horrors. I'm Ashley Boyce, a brand specialist.
I'm Alicia Carosella, a training and development specialist.
And I'm the knob specialist, Dolan.
Doot.
Knob.
Knob. Who did we talk about last time?
JBA.
Stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop with the initials.
John
I was going to say his name. I just wanted you to react first. John Bodkin Adams.
Bodkin Adams. I was going to say Brodecki.
What?
John Brodecki Adams.
Wow, we just recorded that. How did you?
Well,
All right.
because you had that weird perliquois.
Oh, that's a law term. That's a legal
Yeah.
term.
No
Sure.
le prolequa.
Prosecqui.
Prosecco.
Wow, we suck at this.
Let's drink some bubbles.
No le prosecqua.
You know what the problem is we stopped drinking entirely when we recorded episodes, and I think that's the missing piece.
I think it also helped when we would like go out to lunch before we recorded.
Yeah, wow. All right, maybe we should work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'm still having a good time, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Today we are talking about two completely separate cases, but they are super new cases with Theo V from the Netherlands and Heather Presdee from here in the US.
Can I do like the segue? Like,
Go for it.
case one.
You may.
And then you gotta
Oh.
go Theo V.
Yes, you can.
I think you should do the whole thing. Case one, Theo V, like in a super
No.
epic Mortal Kombat voice. Come
No,
on.
it's gotta be case one.
Theo V, here we go. Theodore.
Yes, there we go.
That was great.
Good job, everybody.
Woo, we survived.
All right, I'll get into it, and then you can talk about Heather.
I'll
So,
consider it.
okay, lovely. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. You should come into the office more often.
Thank you. That's sweet.
We all haven't been in the office very much lately. Anyway,
Mm-mm.
Theodore V. I don't really know what his last name is. It has not been in the media. He's just in the media as Theo V. News stories and articles about him and his case started surfacing mid-April 2023. We were talking about doing him in previous episodes, but there was not a lot on him. So Theo V is a male nurse who is arrested under the suspicion of killing patients during the pandemic. So he targeted COVID patients.
He was located where?
In the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Yes. Before the pandemic began, he actually worked at Groningen's, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, Groningen's Martini Hospital, and he also worked before that even, I know, Martini Hospital. Sounds like...
Sorry, we're
our kind of-
immature.
yeah.
Dang, they were probably curing everything there. Martinis.
Yup, martinis everywhere. But
Except for
before
liver
that...
failure.
Oh,
Sorry.
good point. Everyone died of liver failure. I wonder what happened.
Can I get an ibuprofen teeny on the rocks?
But before Martini Hospital, he worked at the University Medical Center, Groningen, and completed his internship in the medical field in Germany. So he gets hired at Wilhelmina Hospital in Assen, which is a small city in the northern part of the Netherlands. Really? Assen?
I thought you said ass end. I
Oh
thought
my
you were
God.
in the ass end part of the Netherlands.
my Atlanta. Let's start over.
We promise we'll try to let you get through your story.
He gets hired at Wilhelmina Hospital before the pandemic in October 2019. He's 30 years old at the time, working in the respiratory ward. By the time he gets arrested for at least 24 deaths that were being investigated. And all of the deaths were coronavirus patients. The investigation covers that. I don't have like a lot of detail on the investigation, but it sounds like it was covered from the time frame of like May 2022 and March 2022. And so some of the families, that had loved ones pass away from the coronavirus in 2020, finally move on. They make their peace with the death of their loved one. And then out of nowhere, 3 years later, they're getting calls from authorities saying that their loved ones may have actually been murdered instead of victims of the COVID-19. So, for example, an elderly man died in the hospital in April 2020 due to pneumonia and complications from the virus. 3 years later, his widow's given the news, and I don't know, how do you handle that? You finally move on, then it's like you have to start the grieving process all over again almost, because it just resurfaces.
I think I would want to know the truth, though, if it were me.
Yeah. When I was like looking through articles, I asked myself, like, do you just let it go? Do you notify the families? Like,
I think you have to notify.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely something to grapple with.
So when Theo finally gets arrested, he was arrested at his home in Veenhuizen. Again, probably totally butchering all these names. So how he got arrested, how they found out about these murders was Theo was seeking mental health treatment at a nearby clinic, and he actually confessed to some of the staff and colleagues there to killing 20 plus COVID patients. And of course, I kind of saw this coming. He claimed that it was mercy killings, and he did it because he didn't want them to suffer anymore, and maybe he saw their chance of survival wasn't there.
I think that our friend Theo, not our friend, I say that sarcastically, I think he saw a window, he saw an opening, and he took it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But he just straight up admitted that he prematurely ended their lives, and he performed procedures. I don't even know exactly what this means, but performed procedures on who he thought was suffering without instructions or consent from doctors.
So basically, like, he's taking matters into his own hands, maybe without specific instruction or...
Yeah, I don't know exactly how... It didn't say in any of the articles how exactly he killed them.
Yeah, there's not a lot of information. I'm surprised you've got that much.
But then after, obviously, he's talking to colleagues, or he's like seeking mental health treatment. So there was deliberation about like whether this could even be brought up to authorities. So after deliberation and seeking legal advice, the healthcare clinic broke confidentiality rules and reported his confession to authorities.
Yeah, I wonder if like there's any sort of blowback on them for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
any consequences to breaking that confidentiality.
Yeah.
But whatever they are, must have outweighed. Like they must, like, doing the right thing outweighed that.
So yeah, we don't have too much information on the investigation itself. Don't have too much information on how exactly he killed the patients. The trial was set to end June of this year, 2023, but I couldn't even find any final sentencing. So I don't know if the trial's still going on. Maybe there just wasn't anything in the media said about the trial. And
the Dutch are hush hush over there.
They really are.
Quiet. I don't know. Maybe they have different media rules. Maybe. I mean, I guess
kind of reminds me of the Lucy Letby case a little bit. Like, just wasn't a lot out there, and they didn't allow people to write articles about it or talk about it or anything like that in any sort of media.
Very different from the United States.
Yeah. Maybe Lucy's case surfaced more because it was more about babies versus COVID-19. I mean, I think it's safe to say everyone's ready to move on from the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
But
Well, I thought for sure that there would be more information for Theo's case.
So, yeah, we'll just have to keep checking, I guess, and see what happens with the trial, if it's still going on, or
maybe the Dutch will ban us on YouTube.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just never know, and then Alicia won't be able to sleep at night.
God, I do have a lot of questions about the universe. Okay.
Case 2.
Heather Presdee. Heather was born on August 28th, 1982. Heather is a Virgo. Virgos are sharp, strong, with intense leadership abilities. They are stable and they know how to protect those they care for. Faithful idealists with a cause, they constantly strive higher and won't settle for less than what they believe is possible. On the flip side, they can be rigid and too intense in their ways. They have trouble dealing with frustration and might get neurotic, jumpy, or too loud. Stubborn and stuck in fear if they don't nurture faith. Their earthly existence loses meaning. So deep.
Wow. That's intense.
I know, right? I know. I started getting really intense with these definitions, so.
How did you find her birthday? Her case is more recent than Theo's.
I just looked it up.
What the heck?
I don't know.
All right.
Because it's the United States. So
that's true.
There's
all the
plenty of information to find. None of our information is safe. So, but yeah, so that's a little bit about Heather. Most of my information is from a New York Post article. I read a bunch of articles. This one is succinct and straightforward, so I'm pretty much gonna read from the New York Post article. So, Heather Presdee is from Pennsylvania. She's accused of killing 2 patients and injuring another, according to Pennsylvania Attorney General Michelle Henry. Heather Presdee is 40 years old, of Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania, and so she's facing homicide, attempted murder, aggravated assault, neglect of a care-dependent person, and a reckless endangerment in connection with the deaths of a 55-year-old man and an 83-year-old man, as well as the injury of a 73-year-old man. So just men. So the allegations in this case outline the callous abuse of incredibly vulnerable patients by a professional nurse, Michelle Henry said in a statement. As the charges indicate, these were deliberate and intentional acts perpetrated by a caregiver who was trusted to care for these victims. Heather Presdee was a registered nurse, and she was working at Quality Life Services, also known as QLS. They did it for me. Thank you for the abbreviation. It's a retirement nursing facility in Chicora, Pennsylvania.
Chicago.
I was waiting for you to chime in.
That's what I have.
Thank you. As a family-owned organization that prides itself on providing safe and compassionate care, Quality Life Services is shocked and devastated to learn that the charges brought against Miss Presdee by the Attorney General's office include alleged illegal activity that occurred at our QLS Chicora facility, QLS said in a statement posted to Facebook. So on November 19th, 2022, the 55-year-old victim and 83-year-old victim became ill while in Heather Presdee's care. And then the 2 victims lived in rooms connected by a Jack and Jill style bathroom, according to the affidavit. Both victims were transported to the hospital the following day, where they became hypoglycemic. The 83-year-old victim had been transported to the hospital once before in October 22 for hypoglycemia. The affidavit alleges that Heather Presdee gave lethal doses of insulin, which is a hormone used to reduce blood sugar levels typically given to patients with diabetes. So she gave that to the victims. 2 of the 3 victims did not have diabetes. So she's facing all of these charges, and she told authorities that the 83-year-old victim would be better off dead.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so
She didn't even try and cover it up. She just...
I think she's just caught, and she's like, whatever.
Oh.
So the third victim was in Presdee's care on August 31st, 2022, when he was transported to the hospital with low blood sugar levels, and he was treated and survived, according to the affidavit. When the police arrived at Presdee's home and interviewed her, she apparently admitted to injecting 2 of the victims with insulin. So, she stated that she felt bad for their quality of life, and she had hoped that they would just slip away into a coma and pass away. Investigators wrote in the affidavit. So, for the surviving victim, Presdee said he was in COVID isolation and he was having a very difficult time. On the evening of August 31st, 2022, Heather said it was a very busy night and that he asked for her to kill him. So, basically, again, just taking advantage of an opportunity of a situation. I don't think Heather thought she was doing the right thing in any way, shape, or form. Also, if a patient asks you to kill them, the answer would be no.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So there is obviously more going on as she comes onto trial and all that stuff. So we'll have updates for her as well at that time.
How many did she allegedly
3,
kill?
just the 3. So the 2 died and then the 1 survived.
Gotcha. And what time frame?
So this was all in 2022. So,
Gotcha.
Let's see, August was the 83-year-old man, and then August to November.
Okay.
So it was like a really short time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how she got
you said
caught.
This is where again?
Pennsylvania.
Assisted suicide or physician-assisted suicide or assisted dying is not legal in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so she should have said no.
I don't think it's...
Yep.
Like, the places that it is legal in, though, I don't think a nurse can make that call.
No, I think it's like a very specific
Yeah.
situation with a practitioner and, a doctor. Everything's...
Yeah.
There's a
Physicians.
process. Yeah, so there's a process there.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when you sent Heather's case over, I honestly did not read it. So
okay.
I didn't really know that these 2 were somewhat similar.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we have 2 cases, though, that we need to kind of keep track of and see what the outcome is.
Her formal arraignment is postponed. So this was an update as of today.
Oh.
Let me see.
Oh. Just in.
Just in.
They have not identified the victims. She remains in the Butler County Prison. Her attorney's not commenting. It's continued. I don't know if there's like a date. She was charged May 25th, 2023. So I think they asked for a continuance, so they're just waiting. So it was, the formal arraignment has been postponed.
Okay.
As of today. Or yesterday.
Stay tuned. Or if anyone else has anything on these cases, any fun little
let
tidbits.
us know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not an internet sleuth, so if there's any more information out there or any resources on these 2, let us know.
Yeah.
We should start reading Reddit threads about it.
I didn't even think about Reddit.
I bet you there'd be a lot of information on there.
Yeah.
People from the area posting about it, maybe.
Go on with the Reddit.
Reddit is fire.
Fire.
Hot fire flames.
All right. So, that's Theo V and Heather Presdee. Next time, we could talk about Bobby Sue Terrell. Okay. I think I've thrown her a name.
Yeah.
Or his name. Wait, hold on.
I've heard the name in our chats.
It is a female.
BST.
Oh my gosh! Stop. I didn't even plan it.
I'm I warned you.
I quit. I'm done.
And
Why don't you like my abbreviations?
I don't know. It's fine.
Healthcare Horrors, the podcast brought to you by Atlas Med staff, is looking for a new co-host.
Oh, no.
Ah, crap.
No, it wouldn't be the same without Ashley.
Alu, you can do it.
Okay, yeah, we should do her. Bobby Sue Terrell.
So, next. No, just next.
Just next.
Next week.
Depending on when we get these edited, if we don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
I was wondering for a
Things have
minute.
been crazy.
Had a rough couple of months.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, did something happen that nobody told me about?
No.
That's funny.
I just tell my boss, and then I forget to tell you guys.
It's okay.
That's all good.
Life happens, man. Anyway, I'm just going to shut up.
No, I like it. Where are you going? With
I was
this?
just going to say, I mean, there are a lot of other podcasts and music for
We can
people to
listen
listen to.
Yeah, listen
in
to
the
everybody
meantime.
else's stuff.
That's why I said,
While
never
you-
mind. I'm just
while you
going to
wait
shut
for
up.
us. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
Insert ad.
Yes. So we need to go to lunch next time.
All right.
Before we start recording.
I'm down. Okay, I'm down to clown. What about
Cool.
you guys?
Yep. Cunningham's. Here we go. Or sushi.
All right.
Or steak.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for any of it. Okay.
All right. Don't do anything that Theodore V or Heather Presdee have done.
Yeah, don't. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. And keep up with it. Let us know.
Murder.
See ya.
Goodbye.
We don't want to be ya.
Goodbye forever. I'm out. Thank you for listening to Healthcare Horrors, brought to you by Atlas Med staff. Just a reminder, we are not healthcare professionals. We are just fans of true crime, talking about some of history's darkest moments in healthcare. Stay tuned, stay healthy, and stay safe.
Healthcare horrors. Murder.